First of all, thank you all for joining us and to attending this information session webinar about the first open call that VOJEXT project has launched at the beginning of the month. Before to introduce and to present you our agenda today, I would like to give you some note about our session. So we kindly ask all the attendees to turn off their camera and stay muted in order to not overload the network. Please be informed that the session will be recorded. So if you don't wish to be identified, please edit your details to hide your name. There will be a question answer session during the webinar. We ask you to place and write your question directly on the chat because this question answer session will be after the presentation of the speakers. So if questions are coming when you're listening to the speaker, write them specifying the speaker to whom they are intended, and during the question answer session, we will address them and select them. Our program today, so we will start by a presentation of the project, VOJEXT project. So this will be made by Maria Eugenia Beltran, who is the VOJEXT project coordinator from the University Polytechnic Madrid. Then we will go into detail to present you the 5 challenges that have been included in the open call. This presentation will be made by Javier Guterres, who is the technical manager of VOJEXT project from Tree Technology. Then we will present you the open call, more the procedure, the process to prepare your application and submit your application. And this will be made by Luisa Gonçalves from F6S Network, who is coordinating the open call. As I was mentioning earlier, after that, we will have a question answer session in order to clarify and answer the question you may have already identified. And then we will close the session with some information for you to know about the project, to keep some information and have the link to follow us and get more updated info. So without further delay, I will pass now the floor to Xenia for the presentation about VOJEXT project. Xenia, I will stop my screen, and if you can share your screen with your presentation.
Yes. Can you see it? Am I sharing?
Not yet.
Let me try to do it again.
Yes.
No?
So just full screen, and that would be
Yes.
perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So good afternoon. Welcome to our presentation for the open calls that are launched by the VOJEXT project. It's a pleasure for us to be this afternoon with you and to introduce the project to you and to present the project. So what is VOJEXT? VOJEXT is a project that started in July of last year. So actually we've been running for 7-8 months at this stage, okay, coming into month 9. This project will be developed during 42 months, okay? And this project is a project that was granted in the H2020 call for the European Commission, and links the EH, okay, linked the START program to really support innovation. In VOJEXT, we have 20 partners from 11 countries, and in this project, we will be validating the technologies in 5 pilots, okay? One pilot that is in construction, that is located in Spain, and actually is part and is linked to one of the challenges in the open call. Another pilot that go on an electronic manufacturing company, pilot that is also works for automotive, one for plastics and polyurethanes manufacturing, and one that is done at artisan level, actually just to really shape and cover the whole path and view of companies, okay, where manufacturing can be done. So coming from an artisan to really big ones, okay, and large ones, like it could be Acciona or Mercedes. So what do we do in VOJEXT? VOJEXT is a project that is dedicated to manufacturing and construction, and what we want is to really easy and improve in efficacy and in the production path using robotics, okay, linked to CPS or cyber physical environment. So actually everything is connected. It's looking at the Industry 4.0 view and perception, and what we want is to really engage, okay, especially SMEs and mid-caps in the project to really help us to disseminate, okay, the benefits of having and robotics, okay, in the manufacturing domain. We are working with mobile robotics in all our use cases right now. And the idea is to really get this link in between the producers and actually the providers of the technology. We want to integrate SMEs and mid-caps in our project through the open calls in both areas. In the areas of technologies, so actually SMEs that are innovating in this area also are able to support the manufacturing use cases and work directly with us in the project. And also some other call that will be done that will be for new use cases where actually the technology developing projects could also bring benefits and add value to their manufacturing outputs and services or services produced for that. What we want, okay, is to really have robotics in a way that are affordable, market oriented, okay, and actually it would be able to be repurposed, okay, using and taking the advantage of the CPS environment. So VOJEXT is called value of joint experimentation. So actually the joint experimentation is in between the demand and the supply. That means the SMEs that can come to the market and innovate and provide and support the processes in production and in manufacturing or construction, as well as SMEs, okay, with manufacturing facilities that really would like to improve, okay, their effectiveness. So the idea is that with this, okay, and in an environment of CPS, we get a kind of a fluid robot interaction. And actually our project, besides being fully technological, we wanted and we proposed it from the beginning to have this social part content. So actually we want it to take in account all the interaction regarding safety, regarding environment, regarding ergonomy, and regarding everything that has to do with also the social part. And for this, we not only work with the manufacturing area and actually the cluster that is I4MS that supports the manufacturing and robotics, but also with STARTS, which is we integrate artists to really support innovation. So in our project, we have a partner that really links with the artist, and we will have an artist call. So actually artists will be working with us to really do the design and integration and adoption of the robots. So this is how we see our project. Okay, it's a project that works on innovation-based economy, and what we want to use is not only the science-driven approach but also the social part. So actually, we want to support both sides, producers and adopters, let's say that way, and in a way that actually this environment led by robots and led by the CPS help us to generate a more cognitive autonomous systems in the adopters of these technologies, and actually include and support all the social area that has to go with human-robot interaction. So our idea is that to create this area of collaborative robots, okay, that actually will go from the design time in the production, okay, supported, okay, by innovation with the artist, and actually develop all the robotics part that really will get into the runtime or production time of all the companies as such. So what we want to get is go over barriers that go in the sense of easy to use the robots, easy to integrate the robots in the production side, but also, okay, to integrate all the safety and economics and waste and environment and let's say life cycle that is included in the production, and actually to get the benefits and at the end support the value added that VOJEXT can bring to it. So as for VOJEXT, we will have two open calls. One is the one recently launched at the beginning of this month, okay? And actually the differentiator on the open calls is that one is more technical and the other one is more from the user side, okay? Anyhow, what we want is that in both sides, SMEs and mid-caps integrate in the innovation process. We also will have open calls for artists, and those goes regarding residencies, and actually is for the artists to support, as commented, all this design time and actually the integration of the robots and have another view and another perspective that makes you to have an experimental site. Just to say that all this in the sense and in the environment that we have 6 experimental pilots right now that they are going to grow, but the idea is that these are the operational environments where we start the project with. As commented, these pilots are in 5 domains, what are plastic or polyurethane, electronics, automotive construction, and a craft, which is for the artisans, and located in 4 countries, which are Italy, Hungary, Turkey, and Spain. So as commented, we cover small companies already, SMEs, okay? So actually one is very small, it's at artisan level, and the other one that is for automation system and electronic production, okay? That is SOSA. We have also already the spectrum of the medium companies like PEMU, okay, which is in the plastic and polyurethane area, and they produce pillows specifically, and we are integrating the robots also for their purposes for their better development. And we link with also large companies like Mercedes-Benz, supported by DLR, I'm sorry, in Turkey, to cover the automotive, and actually with Acciona in Spain for the construction environment. So actually, for Acciona, okay, we are having a lab environment also to really support the developments that is going to be there. But as we said at the beginning, okay, if we really want to see what our project goes about, okay, it's about innovating and really have another perspective from that will come from the artist, okay, and really design the workplace, okay, new with robots and integration of new technologies that go further than the robots that really support this automation through the CPS environment or cyber physical systems, okay, to really link together people, organization, and technology. So our project, besides that, we have what we call the VOJEXT DIH. So actually many of the partners come from DIH, and one of them is who has organized this call is EMC2. EMC2 we would like to present, and I actually would like to say what is the role, okay, on how and what we want to do a little bit with the DIH, okay. This pole and this DIH was created in 2005, okay, and operates in the north west of France, and is dedicated to advanced manufacturing technologies. So actually they cover also all France, okay, although their focus is in the northwest, and actually what they do is they also support in projects and European projects, SMEs, companies, and provide access to several technologies as such, and actually accelerate them to really the user integration of these technologies through the projects. So they have expertise, okay, with almost 400 partners right now, or members, let's say that way. They include technologies for the manufacturing, such as robotic, that is the one that we have in VOJEXT as such. So actually this DIH is going to transformation to the European Digital Innovation Hub in 2021, and they provide assistance. Similar to the POL, okay, PIAP Hub, okay, which was created in 1965, so they have a long transcendence and experience, okay. What they provide is their value proposition or their services are regarding research and technology, and actually they help the companies to become more competitive, and they support their acceleration. Their expertise is in the cyber physical systems and robotics, and actually Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. And with this, the idea is also to help SMEs from the sector to move forward, okay, in this industry 4.0. Fort is in Munich, okay, is the Munich hub in our project, and it started in 2009, and is the Bavarian Research Institute. Also, they link also with the rest of the areas in Germany. Are focused in let's say the Munich metropolitan region as such. Their focus is software, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things and robotics. Okay, so actually we all have a similar focus. So, as for UPM, okay, the DIH is coordinated in UPM is AIRS, okay, and actually it goes towards development goals and is focused fully in robotics. The idea is to help also SMEs and mid-caps, okay, and link it with big companies to have and see the advantage also of artificial intelligence and robotics. So actually the idea is to innovate in services and actually support in proposals. Besides that, it links with the Living Lab of Life Supporting Technologies that is also linked with other living labs, especially in the area of healthcare, but also for manufacturing and smart cities. So actually then what we have is right now is for DIH, and our idea is to link with you as DIH, okay, and actually start kind of the network and see how our SMEs can interact with us and with our project and the DIH that are in our project. So actually we can support value. And actually we would like to see if you could act as channel to really help us to support, to bring new companies and new organizations that can work in a European project and do experimentation in digital technologies as is it VOJEXT as such. So this is the introduction for the project, okay? If you have any question, please let us know. And I give it back to you, Luisa.
Thank you, Xenia, for this presentation about the project and the different DIH involved. I think we will continue now with the presentation of Javier, who will present the technical challenges included in the open call, this first open call.
Yes. Hello, Luisa.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. So now we are on the internet page. Yeah. So.
And now it should. Oops, sorry. This is not. Sorry, it's because we had that conversation here, and I don't know why it's presenting this. Sorry. But this, right?
That's perfect now. We can see it.
Okay, sorry for that. So, hello everyone. My name is Javier Gutierrez. As Luisa said, I'm with Free Technology, a Spanish SME, and one of the partners of the VOJEXT project. I'm also the technical manager of the project. So we are here presenting this open call, these challenges, these 5 challenges. And in this 20 minutes session, the idea is to briefly go through the different challenges. As you may know, they are construction robotic toolset and navigation, visualization of point clouds in a virtual reality headset, integration of two-leaf motion devices to improve users mapping, and investigation of a new method, thumb mapping and its integration into the teleoperation pipeline. So let's go to the first one. This is the robotic construction toolset. This is intended to be a robotic solution designed for accomplishing plastering tasks with a robotic arm and then one or more different effectors. So such solution should be able to work on top of a mobile wheeled robot to allow covering large surfaces. And this last point is very important because, as Xenia mentioned in her presentation, And this challenge is conceived as an extension of one of the VOJEXT use cases led by a construction company in Spain. So there is a close connection with the use case. The objectives to fulfill under this challenge are, from a technical point of view, to provide an automated mobile robotic solution to prepare the plasterboard wall by tapping the joint patch and applying skin coats of material, and to allow a seamless integration of the robotic solution with the VOJEXT cyber-physical system. This is what Xenia refers as CPS, through an application programming interface for its controller. Then from the organization management standpoint, we can refer to the achievement of good efficiency in time and resource consumption. And this intrinsically implies incorporation of robots to changing construction environments. Going to the challenge itself in this specification section, it's worth mentioning that these targets dry construction, and it's usually done manually by professionals. In this regard, there are 4 levels of quality finishing of the plastering. This is more or less a standard, and it's summarized here on the table. You can see from Q1 to Q4, the maximum or best solution, with some key aspects such as the level of finishing, aesthetic requirements, application requirements, finished surface suitability, flatness requirements. All this information is also in the code document. But in brief, what we are looking for is a combination of a mobile platform, sensors, robotic arm, and N effectors program for the identification of the joint patches of plasterboard walls, and the autonomous execution of the arm trajectories for accomplishing the tasks, such as, for example, coating, aligning uneven surfaces, etc. And the solution should achieve the Q4 level. You can see, let me try to minimize this also. So this goes here. Achieving this Q4 level. And some interesting aspects to consider are that the environment is not affected by weather conditions. So common living conditions can be assumed in terms of temperature, humidity, etc. Likewise, there should not be any obstacles on the floor, which is assumed to be flat or almost flat. And I hope this helps with the design and also the demonstration. For the assessment or the demonstration of this challenge, we are planning a final demonstrator that will perform several plastering operations while moving along a wall once the system is integrated on top of the mobile robot selected by the applicant and being controlled by the CPS, the VOJEXT CPS. For all, especially the later, there will be a close interaction with the consortium partners. You know that there are organizations all around Europe, and some of them are focused on each of the independent technical challenges, so they will support you. The indicative budget to fulfill this challenge is 100,000 euros and an indicative duration of 12 months. Well, for sure you already know that there is a session for questions at the end of the event, as Luisa mentioned, but you can also send an email whenever you need a clarification to opencall@vojext.eu. For the second challenge, deals with navigation and more specifically with secure and autonomous, sorry. I had some problems with the keyboard, I don't know why. Sorry for that. Oh, it's like there is some kind of delay when I press a key. Sorry, let me go back to this one, which is. So, sorry, going to the second challenge again, This is similarly to the previous challenges. This is a situation that complements what the consortium is doing in VOJEXT, where there are different scenarios and use cases. And the mobile robotic platform moves around and interacts with objects and people. So the objectives that should be pursued under this challenge are the development of a combination of software system algorithm for localization, mapping, and navigation compatible with the available VOJEXT robot hardware pool or on devices provided by the solution provider. Well, in this regard, I will comment in a couple of minutes how the demonstrator is envisioned and the role of the hardware in this challenge. Then the second objective is to support the dynamic environment with presence of non-static objects and people, and also wheel or mnemonic robotic platforms. The third would be the accurate localization as well as the assessment of its accuracy, both based on a predefined static map and also a dynamically updated map during runtime, which is commonly known as simultaneous localization and mapping in the literature, SLAM. And in the end, we expect a better performance and deployment times of the robotic platform, addressing problems such as the generation of new maps and the initialization of the robot localization. So, as pointed out in the objectives, the location of the robot and the precision of this location are key for autonomous robots to navigate in highly dynamic environments, and this should be provided by the awarded solution. Besides, a tool should be able to estimate the quality of the localization offline and carry out the mapping. A key performance indicator in this context is the maximum deviation, which should be below 5 centimeters, and also the ability in terms of time to recover from uncertainty in that localization. As an additional request, the solution must provide a semantic self-description to the VOJEXT CPS in relation to its skills, skill parameters, geometry, kinematic sensors, internal states to make easier the control and monitoring of the environment, especially in terms of safety and security. That is something that Xenia already highlighted in her talk. Last but not least, the solution must be compatible with the robot platforms used in VOJEXT and provided by our partner Robotic. You can see here a link to the website. And going to the demonstrator, this is planned in 2 iterations to showcase the new capabilities beyond the state of the art. Our first iteration could be the validation of those capabilities with any robotic vehicle or simulation, together with an integration plan on the specified robotic vehicle for VOJEXT. And then we should have a second iteration that would then include an integration phase with the robot, followed by a real demonstration, a demonstration in a real scenario. The indicative budget for this challenge is 40,000 euros with a duration of 6 months. Well, remember that other budgets and durations are also possible. The third challenge, the next one, is visualization of point cloud in a virtual reality headset. But this is one of the challenges that fall within what we call the teleoperation challenges that addresses technical areas that are expected to improve how an operator can be in charge of a remote robot with manipulation and navigation skills. So the objectives of this challenge is visualization of point cloud in a virtual reality headset, is well, the improvement, as I said before, of the teleoperation system usability by means of the visualization of point cloud in comparison to do videos, and then allowing the navigation controlled by the user, of course, around the generated point cloud, also using the virtual reality equipment, and making available the point cloud to a robotic system by streaming this information via the ROS topic in real time. So it can be used not only for visualization, but also for other purposes in the future, such as enhancing navigation as proposed in the previous challenge. And to this end, we can assume that some compression techniques might be required and also implemented. Finally, it could be perfect if the system is implemented using only Linux machines. So regarding the motivation behind this challenge, this deals with how VOJEXT tackles manipulation, navigation, and collaboration at different levels, but also learning mechanisms so the robots can perform new tasks. And in this regard, training approaches include teleoperation, meaning that the operator needs a comprehensive and accurate representation of the remote scene for initial manipulation of the objects in the space. So for this, the idea is that the system can take a point cloud message as an input and visualize it in the headset of virtual reality equipment. An additional feature may consist in being capable of moving the point cloud around using this virtual reality wand, or maybe some other device for a more accurate view of the thing and at any time. Also, sorry. So going to the specifications of this challenge, we have two different groups, hardware and integration. About the needed hardware, we can envision the use of three elements, which is the first one, a machine running Ubuntu ROS and preferably Melodic 18.4, as this is the release being used in VOJEXT. Then a 3D or stereoscopic camera for the generation of the point cloud. We already have some cameras selected for the VOJEXT for the tasks dealing with computer vision, but in this sense, we don't want to incorporate additional restrictions to the challenge, so the camera can be chosen by the applicant. And then the third element is an HTC Vive, which is the headset you can see here on the right. For the integration and interfacing with ROS, a topic with point cloud data should be piped into the virtual reality headset with the use of OpenVR API software. The demonstrator is quite straightforward in this case because the main goal is the visualization of the point cloud with the virtual reality headset, and also considering this functionality of moving the point cloud with the wand or joystick or a similar device. The challenge has an indicative budget of 30,000 euros and a duration of 6 months. So, and that's quite similar to the ones you will see in the coming slides. Let me also remind you again that there is also an email for asking any questions about the open course in general and this challenge in particular. For the fourth challenge, we propose advances in a field that aims to support teleoperation and focuses on integration of two-leap motion devices for improving the mapping of the user's hands. And the objectives to achieve under this challenge include the synchronization of two-leap motion devices to allow precise but cheap hand mapping, and the integration of this process into the teleoperation pipeline in close collaboration with our partner Shadow, which is a provider of the robotic hands. And this should improve, in general terms, the performance stability compared to a single device because of occlusion elimination. So as you can imagine from this objective, the idea is to use a couple of leap motion devices to monitor the user's hand from two different angles to obtain different perspectives that can be combined into one data set using some kind of filters or image processing techniques. In the code, for example, in the documents of this code, you can find a link to a couple of papers that are relevant for this topic and maybe analyzed for the proposal and also for the development. Regarding the regarding the hardware that will be used in the challenge, mainly two elements: a machine running Ubuntu ROS, as commented in the previous challenge, and of course a pair of leap motion devices. The demonstrator will consist, as expected, in the continuous and accurate monitoring of the hand when performing some tasks such as manipulation and visioning in the VOJEXT use cases. And as I told you in advance, the budget is also 30,000 euros and the indicative duration 6 months. Then this is the last challenge, also the last challenge related to the operation not only of this first call, and it's about the investigation of a new method of hand mapping and its integration into the teleoperation pipeline. This is perhaps the one closer to breakthrough research, since the main objective is to investigate and reproduce the results of a paper published in August 2020. Here you have the link also in the whole document. Well, the paper is entitled Megatrack, Monochrome Egocentric Articulated Hand Tracking for Virtual Reality, and there the authors present a system for real-time hand tracking to drive virtual and augmented reality experiences using 4 fissile monochrome cameras and neural network architectures. You can see here a photo, well, 3 photos of how the problem is addressed. In few words, this challenge concerns hand movements, tracking as a key problem in the field of teleoperation, and how the movement of the user can be transformed into movements of the robot. And the approach presented in the paper is deemed to be a possible, affordable solution to be incorporated to the development and deployment of any robotic system, especially when movement restrictions or limitations in terms of, for example, budget and time exist. And going now to the specifications, we can find a computer running Ubuntu ROS with the cameras used in the paper. The demonstration of this science consists in reproducing the results of the paper, which are also shown in a 4-minute video available on YouTube. Here you have the link also in the whole document. And as commented in the objectives, the incorporation to the teleoperation pipeline is also expected. So the code should be integrated into ROS with data available at a ROS topic to be consumed by the VOJEXT system. From an administrative standpoint, the same as for the previous 2 challenges applies, being the indicative budget of 30,000 euros and 6 months respectively for the duration. And well, that's all from my side. Let me highlight that we are open to answer. You know that there is a session for questions and answers. And also you have here again the email to get in touch with us. And well, it's a pleasure. This is the first call, the first open call of VOJEXT, but it's not the last one. So stay tuned and thank you now.
Thank you, Javier. I see Luisa is already ready, so I suggest to continue with the process for applying.
Yes, okay. Let me share my screen. Here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending this webinar. I'm Luisa. I'm from F6S. That's part of the consortium of the project, and our mission here is to coordinate the open calls since the beginning until the implementation phase. So I'm going to start explaining that in this project we are planning to open 2 open calls. The first one is already opened. So and it aims and it invites SMEs to address some challenges that was very well presented by Javier. So during this process, we invite companies to extend the capacity and the technology of the project, and to bring us some innovative solutions to address some challenges that were already thought in the proposal of this project. The second open call will be more focused on the deployment of the solutions, and it's planned for the next years. And I'm not going to focus on this open call because our focus here today is the first open call, the technical open call challenge. So I put here, I'm not going into details with the challenge because we have just had a presentation about it, but just to highlight that it's the first step to apply to the open calls is to understand the context of the project and also to understand how your company could contribute with these challenges, how to address this challenge. So it's very important first to read carefully all the information about the project and how you are going to be related to these challenges. And here I will start the presentation by explaining you how to apply since the beginning. So you can see this figure. This figure is our base of the process. So we start here with the reception of the submissions of the applications, and then we go through an evaluation process, and then the contracting process, and finally the implementation process. So I'm going through and explain in details each of these phases. So before everything, I recommend first, as I mentioned before, to go to the website. As you can see here, the picture. Go on and try to read on VOJEXT website the information about the project, the challenges, and also the open calls procedure. So you should first read the guide for applicants that you can download on this page, and read and try to understand, first of all, if you are eligible. So there you will find a list of some eligibility criteria, and you started, for example, we are going to accept only SMEs or mid-caps. It means that for now, individuals or natural persons are not accepted. So this kind of details is very important for you to check if you are eligible, because or you lose a lot of time preparing applications that will be rejected in the first stage. So, and also check if your country is eligible. We are accepting according to the EU rules. We accept applicants from the European Union countries and associated countries, including UK. So in the guide for applicants, you can see you will find a list and the links for the EU portal in order for you to check if your country is eligible. So then you all should also get aware of the funding rules, because it's very important for you to prepare your proposal based on these kind of rules, and if your company fits to the challenges, and check the implementation plan. It's based on 3 sprints, and then you should check if it's okay for you in terms of activities, because of course as a company you have other activities and other projects running. And the program durations, it will last from 9 to 12 months. So you should check if you are available to join the project for this period. So after this kind of preparation, I think you are ready to apply. So as you can see here, the figure, you can start your application on the VOJEXT website, on the open call sections. There you find a button, and then you click on that button, and you will be guided to another platform. That's the F6S platform, where you find a form to fill out. So this form, of course, we give all the instruction there, if the questions are mandatory or not, and what kind of documents that you should download, fill out, and then upload again. So you find all the instruction there in this application form. So here I would like to highlight that although you find, for example, a request to upload a proposal schema, it's optional, of course, but if you want to increase and enrich your application, you should, I recommend to include a schema with some pictures and graphics, because it will make easier for the evaluators to check and to analyze your proposal. And then the administrative documents that are mandatory, and you should download on the website, and they are all available at the website. And then you upload this administrative document in order to fill all the requirements for the applications. So after this, the platform will go through an eligibility filter. So this eligibility filter is very simple, because we check for if you filled out all the documents, and if your country is eligible. So it's a very simple filter in order to advance with some applications. And if you do not if you are not approved in this eligibility filter, you receive an email of rejection. So we are going, if you are accepted in this first phase, you will advance to the evaluation process. And this process is divided into 3 stages. We started with a remote evaluation that, according to the EU rules, we invite some external evaluators that they are experts. They are highly specialized in this technology, and they will start the first round of evaluations. So here you can see a list of the evaluation criteria. So it's important here for you to check and prepare your proposals based on these criteria. For example, during the evaluation, they will check the alignments of the objects and the challenges. If you align your objectives with the challenges, the excellence of the proposal, of course, it includes if you are aligned with the general objectives of the project, and it includes the innovative component of your proposal. The impact, of course, that we are inviting you to join the project, and we will, the evaluators will check the impacts of your proposal and of your project on the VOJEXT ecosystem, because there are other developments and the experts working from the consortium work internally. And during this evaluation, they will analyze how your project can positively impact this ecosystem. And the value, of course, you should prepare a proposal that includes a very coherent budget with the budget that are going to be paid in the project. So it means that, of course, it's very rare to happen, but sometimes you think on a project that in terms of budget that are higher or much lower than what is offered as a payment for this project. So you should take care and try to pay attention to the details. And for example, as presented before, the amount of money that is going to be paid per challenge. So you should prepare, if you are addressing a specific challenge, please prepare a proposal that is very coherent with this, with the budget, with the maximum budget that that's going to be paid for this challenge. And of course, the implementation there in the form of the application form, you'll be requested to describe your plan, your implementation plan, and how you envision to implement this your proposal. If it's coherent, it involves an analysis of the deliverables, the milestones, and the infrastructures and management and the management experience that you have, and the time scales, and all these it's a kind of work plan that you should present, and it will be analyzed by the evaluators. So the second stage of the evaluation process involves the online interviews. And if the external evaluators analyze your proposal positively, you will advance to an online interview with the consortium members and with the external evaluators. And there they will basically confirm what you informed in the application form. So it involves analyze questions about the concept and the technology that you proposed during the application, the business, the viability of the business model, because on the application form you have a question about how do you envision your solution in terms of business, and the exploitation, how the reliability to reach milestones, the readiness to present to investors and corporates, and how this solution can be explored in long terms. So the final stage of this evaluation process is a consensus meeting board. It's an internal meeting between the recruiters that they are going to finally decide if the company will advance to contract assign or not. And of course, you are going to be informed of all this process with a rejection letter or an acceptance letter. So here, if you are accepted, you'll be welcome to the project. So I'm not going into details here because it's a legal process that involves the signature of the subgrantee agreement. And a contract will be signed between the SME and the consortium. And of course, during this process, that will be documents double check and the proof of SMEs and the SMEs or mid-cap conditions. You inform your bank account, and our administrative team will take care of everything, and sometimes they request some more documents in order to clarify some questions. And this all that, it's a very usual legal process that involves the signature of the contract. And finally, we have the implementation phase and the payment. The implementation phases involve 3 sprints, and these sprints last 3 or 4 months. And these sprints, we don't have a lot of details of how these sprints are going to be, because we are still defining this process, because of course it's a technical implementation that involves all the technical team of the consortium. But here it's important for you, I would like to inform that you are going to be guided throughout this process by the consortium since the beginning. We will offer information sessions in order for you to engage with the VOJEXT project, because you will become a partner of the project during 9 to 12 months. So it's important for you to come on board. And we will attend meetings, so you will be invited for meetings in order to define in details the work plan, the deliverables and the milestones, and all that process that involves the implementation of the project, since the conceptualization until the implementations. And finally, the third part is we receive the funding upon execution of the specific activities and deliverables. It means that after each sprint, you will receive an amount of money according to your achievements, and it will be agreed between the consortium and the proposal owner. And just here to illustrate the timeline, we just get started. We are receiving the submissions and until the 30th of April. So right after this period, we start with the evaluation and the selection process that it lasts around 1 month, and then the contracting phase. And after this, we start the sprint 1, and it's we plan to start this sprint in July. So it's here is very important, just for you to have an idea how you should organize your activities according to the project timeline. And just to wrap up, because there are so many information here about the application process, the funding is up to 100K euros, so it's equity free, and depending on the challenges. So please check the challenges that you're going to add to address that. You will find the indicative budget informing for each challenge. So who can apply? We now, for this first open call, we are targeting the SMEs and the mid-caps. As I mentioned, until 3rd April, please prepare your applications before this, because if you have some questions or some issues, you can contact us in advance. And consider that you join the project for 9 to 12 months. So prepare and plan your activities according to this timeline. And then your advantage. You have the opportunity to transform your business with new products, because this kind of projects involves innovation. So you have the opportunity to bring innovations, new ideas, and new perspectives to your company. So of course you have the opportunity to expand your network, because you have contact not only with the experts of the projects, and they are around Europe, and they bring different perspectives and very heterogeneous applications and operations of the technology. So, and you can also enlarge your network with artists and designers, because I'm not focusing here on this, but the project has a component that involves artists and designers. So it will be very important for you to share your journey with other companies across Europe. So I kindly invite you to apply. And if you will find more instructions on the website, and do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions about the application process, and we are waiting for you there. So thank you for attending, and if you have questions, I'm glad to answer. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa, for this overview of the process and the evaluation stage. Maybe Javier, Xenia, you can join us because now we are starting the question and answer session. So there is some question. The first one is to know if this webinar will be made available, and yes, we will provide the recording of the webinar. There is a question regarding Javier, the challenge 1 and 2 that mention the solution must provide a semantic self-description to VOJEXT CPS. So what does the VOJEXT cyber physical system mean, and what semantic self-description in this context? So maybe you can think about. And for Lisa, I have a question also regarding the process for application. So you mentioned that there were a form available to prepare the application before to start on the platform, or no? That would be a question we have. So Javier, maybe for clarifying the cyber-physical system and the semantic self-description.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's better that one colleague from Fortis clarifies this concept of the cyber-physical system. I don't know if I can see Marcus in the call. I don't know if you...
Yes, one, this... Hi.
So this is Marcus Rickett from Fortis. So the cyber-physical system, in our view, is a distributed system which connects all the different components of VOJEXT, which of course includes the mobile platforms, the robots, but also the other machines of industrial automation, for example, that are relevant here. And maybe also different sources of information that the company has on the processes, products, and resources in general. So this is pretty much the semantic description that we're talking about. So there are product descriptions, the kind of part that you're trying to manufacture, which may include like CAD models, for example, specifications on how this is assembled in the process description, and then the resources, which can be anything on hardware and software side. So on hardware side, for example, kinematic models of robots, of the mobile manipulator. On the software side, different skills, for example, such as actions that I can trigger on the machine or on the robot itself, like move commands, but also components for planning, like motion planning or SLAM in the case that was already mentioned. And as semantic description, we typically rely on a ontology model, which is stored in a graph database, which can then answer different questions and queries using an OWL reasoner. And so we try to connect the different data sources from different domains here on one central semantic information model. And everything that is related to the query regarding processes, resources, and so on should be connected to the system. What we use, for example, is the node set model from OPC-UA to describe resources which are added to the system, and which can also get automatically detected via an LDS mechanism. So if you plug in a new component, that should be reported to the system, so we can make use of the system and query what kind of capabilities the system provides. Its skills, for example, or the descriptions of geometry, kinematics, or anything that is relevant to the use of this component.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you. Javier, you wanted to add something?
No, just thank you, Marcus, for his response.
Thank you. Yes, for the audience, indeed, we have all the partner here during this session, so it could be a good opportunity to get very detailed answer on your questions. So do not hesitate to write in the chat. So Luisa, regarding the process, maybe indeed this preparation before to start on the platform, or is it accessible already in the platform?
Yes, and this previous preparation, you should the applicants should try to go to the website on the open call sections and try to read all the instructions there. So and get aware of the project and get aware of the challenges. So there, the applicants will be guided for the F6S platform, and they will be taken exactly to fill the form. So they don't need to look for anything on F6S platform, because clicking on that link on the VOJEXT website, they will be taken to the form to fill there, and they will have some instructions to download the file and upload again the filled file, so they can follow all the instructions there.
Okay, thank you. There is a question regarding the eligibility. Is a mid-size research institute eligible to apply?
No, not in this case. We are accepting SMEs and mid-caps, and we are not involved in research institutes.
Okay, so yeah, there was another question about academic laboratory, but so no, for this one, it's only SMEs and mid-cap. For the mid-cap, do you have a limit in terms of size employee?
We don't have a very well definition from the EU, but I have in mind that until 3,000 employees is considered a mid-cap. So they from 250 employees until 3,000. So They are considered mid-caps and they are welcome.
Okay, for the SMEs, we saw that they should be established and yeah, established to apply. There were just a question about the funding. So you mentioned that it can be above or below the maximum amount that are provided in the guidance. Is it correct?
Yes, it's correct. It's just to highlight that sometimes we receive some proposals that are very far from the value that is informed in the guidelines, and so it's important to prepare the budget plan based on what is informed on the guidelines, that and do not surpass a lot this value, because it will be analyzed negatively by the evaluators.
Even if it's justified by own capital?
No, of course, you can justify that it will be analyzed individually if it's well justified.
Okay. So I don't see other question in the chat. Is there other question regarding VOJEXT, regarding maybe the technical challenges? If not, I don't know if Xenia, Luisa, Javier, you want to highlight something else regarding this call for, because this is our first webinar. We will have another one, as I will inform everybody. But I don't know, as it's the opportunity now.
No, nothing more in our side. I mean, just to say that more than welcome to receive applications. We expect that you get on the mood and apply to VOJEXT. We are eager to work and to join with new partners from this call. And actually, for the DIH also, it's great to start to interact with DIH and actually other organizations to be channels for having SMEs and mid-caps in the innovation area for the European Commission, and we are really happy to do this through VOJEXT project also.
Thank you, Xenia. So just a short slide to sum up and to up. Let me open my presentation. Can you see my screen? Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. So, I mean, the information was already shared, but there is indeed a specific email address. So if you have any question about the challenge, the open call, do not hesitate to write. FS6 team will stay available to answer any of your questions. Do not hesitate also to contact the DIH that can provide further information in local language, for instance. And as I was just mentioning, we will organize a second webinar beginning in April. So follow us on the social media to be updated about the date and the program. To learn more about the project, yeah, as Luisa was presenting, all the information about the open call will be available on the website. You have also access to our open call teaser on YouTube. For more information about the project, do not hesitate to visit regularly our project website and subscribe to the project newsletter to get updated information. We have also a contact email address if you want to reach us, and of course you can follow us on the different social media, so you can find here all the links, and we will be very pleased to have you involved there. So I think we can conclude here. Thank you all for your participation. you have all the contacts now to write us for any question you may have about the open call. We are available to support you in defining your project ideas and prepare your application. So do not hesitate to get in touch. And I hope we provide you some interesting and useful information today. Yeah, I hope it was useful for you. So Xenia, maybe a concluding word or?
Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody. Thanks for joining us today. It's been a great pleasure and an honor to present VOJEXT. So we really hope to see you further and to get in contact with you. Thanks also to all the team, especially from EMC2, to prepare this webinar, and actually F6X also for the presentation and handling the open call, and our technical manager to really support for the presentation, as well as all the VOJEXT partners to be here with us. So more than welcome to receive your applications for the rest of the audience. And thank you very much, and good afternoon to everybody.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all. Goodbye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.